Welcome replay viewers. Welcome everyone. I love this site. This is in the back of my friend's dad's house where we're staying, but it's such a beautiful, peaceful area, and I definitely could use that today with the full moon coming and the eclipse tonight and everything else that's going on in my life. I definitely can use this peaceful spot. Hi, welcome. My name is Angie Guerin, and I'm a recovery alchemist and self-mastery catalyst. And what that is I help you reach those parts of you that you are trying to keep hidden and empower you to move forward. Welcome, Brian. Thank you. So, on your outside, are you always have that happy face, even if you feel like, you're dying inside? We hear commonly that we need to fake it till we make it. Fake it till we make it. Just fake it till we make it. And that's dangerous. That's incredibly dangerous, because what happens is we don't feel it. We don't feel it. And what we don't feel, we can't project. So that whole thing of faking it till you make it is really dangerous, because everybody else can feel what you're feeling. If you are not feeling it, if you are having an absolute crappy day and you literally feel like dying inside, you can't give the happiness. You can't give authenticness. That's not authentically who we are. And we feel like we are lying. We are lying to ourselves, right? I've tried that. I've tried that, faking it till we make it, and honestly, it was one of the most exhausting times in my life ever. Because I felt like a phony. I felt like a liar. I felt like, how could I possibly go out and, put on this happy face and say that everything is going okay when it's really not? Like, life is really crappy right now. And when I stopped faking it, and when I got to that place of saying, you know what, it's okay, everybody has stuff that goes on, and everybody has crappy points in their life, that was the time that I actually found true peace, even when things were absolutely falling apart around me. Because I knew that I could look at those things in the face and say, you know what, I don't feel it. I don't feel like doing that today. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm upset, I feel broken, and having that be okay. And why don't we allow that, for the masses? Why is that not okay? Why is it not okay to have feelings? Even with our little kids, I watch it, they fall and they scrape their knee, or, they're upset because they can't have it. And stop crying, there's no need to cry, there's no need to cry. Well, to them there is a need to cry. And, we're taught from such a young age that our feelings are something bad. Our feelings are something that we should not have. And that's not very fair to any of us. So we grow up to be an adult, and we constantly have, that feeling in the back of our head that, it's not okay to have our feelings. It's not okay to be angry because we might act out. It's not okay to be sad because, why? Because it makes everybody else uncomfortable. It doesn't make a difference how I feel. If it made me uncomfortable, it was that everybody else would be uncomfortable. And you get to a certain point in your life, I hope, and if you don't, please do, get to a certain point in your life that other people's feelings, they matter, but so do yours. And you need to allow yourself to have those feelings. And it's okay to feel like crap, and it's okay to tell people that you don't feel well. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have feelings. That is why they are there. But this whole faking it till you make it, and this whole, putting a smile on your face all the time when you're absolutely dying inside, that is so unfair to you. And all it does is further solidify to you that your feelings are not valid and that you aren't valid. And I'm here to tell you today that you are valid. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid. Every single thing about you is valid. You are enough. You are worth it. And you are more than welcome to have any feeling that you choose to have. Hi, Leslie. Welcome. It's when we stop and we start denying those feelings and we start, pushing them away and trying to, not feel them. That's when that whole resistance comes. That's when that burden comes on your shoulders that feels like it won't ever go away because you're not allowing it to happen. So have you ever heard of, what you resist persists? The longer we fight our feelings, the longer we don't allow ourselves to have these feelings, the longer we're going to have them. I always explain them as like that little kid, the 2 or 3 year old, and they want something and they want it now. And so they're tugging at your string and maybe you're busy and they're tugging and you're like, just a minute. And they're keep but, and they're tugging, just a minute. But they have no patience, right? Just a minute. And then you give in, maybe, quite upset, but you give in and you give it to them and they go away and they go make themselves happy. And our emotions are just like that. They will keep eating at us. They will keep coming up to be seen, to be validated, to be heard. And once we see them, once we validate them, once we hear them, they go. They just pass. That's their natural progression. They're not there to stay. They're there to be seen and they're there to be heard. So when you're constantly putting on that mask that everything is okay, those feelings don't ever get the chance to be seen. And so they're constantly there. And they're there until you want to see them. And then they just keep building up and building up and building up. And by the time that, if you refuse to see them and you refuse to acknowledge them, then that just turns into a big, huge blow up. And I used to do the exact same thing. I would snap at my kids. I was very short-tempered. I had very little patience. And it wasn't because I was an impatient person. It was because I never allowed myself to have the feelings I was having. If I was sad, I needed to bottle it up. If I was angry, I just needed to put on a happy face. Nobody wanted to see me angry. Nobody wanted to see me upset. But the reality was I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to feel angry. I didn't want to feel upset. And so then they all just built upon each other until I would just snap. I would, say things that I didn't mean. And it was just worse when I started feeling my feelings and allowing them to be there. And even with, as a parent and letting my kids know, hey, you know what? I'm having a really bad day. And all of a sudden those bad days, they didn't last very long. I was able to move out of them quicker. I was able to move through them quicker, and they didn't happen as often or as long because I would recognize it. And I would say, hey, you know what? I see you. And yeah, feeling sad and being angry is not very comfortable, but feeling them and having them pass was a lot less painful than having them build up. So today's message is, please, I know it seems so easy to put on that mask and it seems to be what everybody really wants. But you're doing a disservice to yourself and you're causing extra stress, extra anxiety, and all of those small, tiny problems that started off as tiny problems, they become big, huge, gigantic problems. And if we can just face, what we're going through, it makes things so much easier. So if you're having problems with, not even if you're having problems, but if it's really difficult for you to feel your emotions, if it's really difficult for you to quit putting that mask over and lying about how you feel to yourself and to others, I have a 12-week group coaching program that's starting in the beginning of October, and you can see that at angieguerin.com/shatterproof. And also in my bio, I have a click to my my webinar that is up, and it's live. The replay is live for a couple more days. And that webinar goes into how to connect with what we're truly feeling and how to feel it without causing extra agony and extra pain. And also just how dangerous, those masks are that we face, because we think we put our masks on for others, but truly we're putting them on because we don't want to feel it, and we don't want to face those feelings. So as always, if you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook, angieguerin@gmail.com if you want to email me, and I will talk to you later tonight. Have a great night.